Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Bitcast. We're at Bitcast 53, in case you're wondering where we are. We have a bit of news for you today. Not exactly a review, but we will be talking about some games that we've been playing, and then our famous Name That Game. So let's kick it off with the biggest news story this week. Let's talk about the black hole image that showed up. No? Okay. So we're actually going to move on. This is actually a video game podcast.
God damn it. I had a very underrated tweet. You guys remember the Black Hole movie? Back in the day? Goddamn, by Disney. Maximilian. Yeah. I had a fucking awesome fucking tweet that it was not liked by a single person. This is, the problem with switching accounts. God damn it, that movie was fucking awesome. All right, anyway, yep.
Are you talking about did you say Black Cauldron?
No, Black Hole, the Black Hole movie from Disney.
Oh, the Black Hole movie.
Back from 82 or something like that.
Yeah, it's going way back. Great.
Yeah, it's going way back.
Wow.
Way back.
I thought you weren't good at the old stuff from 1982, Dan.
Listen, I'm talking movies. God damn it. I can't even believe you guys never seen this shit.
I just liked your tweet if it makes you feel any better.
Thank you. At least one person did.
All right, we're off to a good start.
Yeah. Okay, so let's kick off the news with one of the biggest articles and one of the things that I think all three of us are super excited about, and it's Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. We did get news earlier in the week that with, I guess, a picture of what was the game concept art supposed to be, but as of this morning, we do have a confirmed date, and that's going to be November 15th. Some of the details that have leaked about this is that it is going to be a single-player story game with no microtransactions. So for the people that have been kind of sick and tired of that for a while, this is super good news. We are also excited that Respawn is doing this, so it hasn't been EA'd yet, which is nice. But we haven't really heard too much more about that. We're super excited. Dan, you guys want to share some thoughts here as we've got a little bit more detail from it this week?
Yeah, man, I'm fucking super excited. God damn it. Let me start over. God damn it. All right. Oh,
Jesus
carrot.
Christ.
God damn it. Why would you do that? All right. Let me start over. Here we go. Sorry, Bert. Too much editing. Yes. What are we talking about? Star Wars?
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'm super excited about anything really Star Wars. The trailer for the new movie came out yesterday. I've watched it 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand what's happening. I'm super nervous about it because Star Wars is like a really big part of my family, which is kind of weird because it was the first movie I ever saw in the theaters. Granted, I was 2, but it was still, that first movie that your dad takes you to. So I'm really excited for any kind of Star Wars game. When Battlefront 2 came out, I had it day one. I played through the campaign, unfortunately, in a very short amount of time because it wasn't very long. I'm hoping that there's a Respawn that's doing it, that they do, justice to, the IP. I just want to see a good Star Wars game. No microtransactions, no multiplayer, just single-player focus. I'm really hoping for some meaty content, like a giant Wookiee full of hairy content.
All right, I'll take it from here.
It's Saturday, folks.
Pumped about this. Hot off the presses, November 15th. It's kind of interesting. They're going right in the heart of November, which usually is reserved solely for giant series games like Call of Duty and whatnot. But I think this one, given just being Star Wars and actually being the first kind of new game outside of Battlefront that we're seeing, and it's made by Respawn, I'm sure it's going to be really solid, that this game will be just fine and it's going to sell millions and millions of copies. So also, I think it was confirmed this week, you guys let me know if you saw something else, but that this is an Unreal Engine 4 game and not Frostbite. So Respawn apparently had more kind of full control over this one. They've been working on it a long time, and so it hopefully is not affected by some of those things we heard past couple weeks that affected Anthem and some other EA titles. So super excited for it.
Yeah, and as we always kind of talk about with the hype of the movie coming, so the movie's coming out in late December. I think it's like right around Christmas time, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll get the hype going there. And as you mentioned, it being in the heart of fall, they're either super confident about the game, so that's other really good news. A lot of times when people try to avoid the great games that are coming out in the fall, they will launch it before or even after. They'll move it to Q1 of the next year. So this is meaning some pretty good news for us, and we'll definitely report more as we find out more. It's still very early. So far, we've got concept art and we have a date, so and a little bit of details, obviously. But let's move on to our next story. So Xbox Game Pass is always bringing up tons of great games for us. The April games are, pretty amazing. One of them was our game of the year of, was it 2017, Haynes, for Prey? But so let's actually talk about the dates here. So we have Prey coming out April 11th. We've got Golf Club 2, which has been received decently well. It's not the premier golf game or anything, but it is pretty good. Also April 11th. Monster Hunter World, which is a lot of people's favorite game of early 2018, and I was kind of surprised to see this one, but it's pretty cool, is April 18th, so next week, depending on when you're listening. The Telltale Games Walking Dead: A New Frontier, April 18th also. And then Life is Strange 2, Episode 2, April 24th, following with Resident Evil 5, April 25th. So Game Pass continues just to bring tons of content for you. If you're not on there, just think about subscribing to that service. It's a pretty good service. You guys want to mention anything on this one? Some pretty good games this month, I should say.
No, this is a pretty huge announcement, especially for Monster Hunter World, because that's a hugely popular game with a community that just kind of, stays on those titles. So a lot of co-op experiences here too, again, particularly Monster Hunter World, games like Golf Club, and then you've got some single-player Prey, and you've got the Telltale. So, there's a really good mix here. And, as you already said, it continues to be one of the best services in gaming. I think probably the best service in gaming. With some tremendous value as well due to the sale we're going to talk about it. You can, they're doing that special where you can get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for $1 if you, are not a current subscriber. So there's no reason not to really try this and just play some games.
Yeah, Monster Hunter World is huge. That's Capcom's #1 selling game of all time. So it's, just for other people to be able to play it, they haven't actually made that leap. Maybe they can, kind of revitalize it a little bit. But it still seems to be going pretty strong. I really enjoyed my time with it. I played quite a bit of it. Prey was another one of those games where, I really, really wanted to play and then finally got around to doing it. And it's, the value just for this month alone is amazing. I would pay $10 in a second to play the list of these games, except for Life is Strange. No, not that one. Everything else I would.
Cool. Yeah, so check that out, guys. We'll talk about the sale Lanes is talking about in just a little bit. We're going to be talking about the spring sale going on with Microsoft, so keep that in mind. Another big news article this week that received some positive but a lot of negative feedback as well is the PSN name change. So me being one of the people that created a name back in the early 2000s has been waiting to be able to do this. And they had a beta earlier in the past 6 months or so where they were testing this feature out. It kind of went dormant for a while, and now it's actually finally out this week. I believe it was this past Wednesday, or it was Wednesday, where you could actually go in and change your name later in the day. And when they did that, there's some caveats to this. So let's talk about that caveat in general as to what are the things you can and can't do. So at first you had a lot of the people claiming it's only a few games that you're affected here, but that's really not the only thing that is preventing that from happening. So what essentially happens is you go into the system, whether it be the website, your app, or the actual the actual app inside of the game. The console, I can't think here. And when that happens, you have the ability to change your name, and some games don't get that name change. So with that happening, you have the ability of losing DLC, losing game saves. Some games don't work with that new name change at all, so some positives and negatives there. But if you are wanting to do that, that is available for you. It is free for the first name change that you're doing, and after that, I believe it's $5 for every additional name change. So, Haynes, I know you're keeping your name. You've had that one for a while. Dan, are you going to be doing anything with this?
No, I'm gonna keep the same one. Mine's the same as it is on Xbox. It just has underscores. They don't allow spaces for some reason. It seems... I looked at the list of stuff. If I wanted to change it, since I was kind of late to the PlayStation party, I guess, I wouldn't really lose a whole lot of stuff. But I can see where it would become problematic for some people, especially if you lose parts of your library, if that ends up being the case. Some game saves here and there aren't a huge deal, to me. Just means you can go back and play them again. But for somebody that makes up has a name from back in the day where they're slightly embarrassed about it because it's maybe like a weird reference to a rapper or rap song. I understand that stuff. It's cool.
I don't know who you're referring to, Dan.
I'm just saying it's just the observation. Maybe just an example. Just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little cautious. I'm lucky because I've been on everything since the start, and I've kind of kept the same name everywhere, so I'm lucky in that regard. But I'd be a little hesitant if I wanted to change my name and I had all the things that I do have on the PlayStation Network. But it sounds like this is a small percentage, right? And I've seen a lot of people on my friends list and social media changing their name without any issue. So hopefully it's a minor and it doesn't really hurt anyone too bad.
Yeah, and so as far as things of if you're still playing on the PS3 or the Vita, those are other things that could be affected as well. So just keep an eye out for that. Take a look at the important information if you're going to do this, just so you're aware of what you're going to do. If it doesn't affect you, great. Go ahead and move on and do it if you need to do it. If it does, then just be careful when you're doing that. So one of the things that's happening. BioWare is going to be doing an Anthem live stream coming up on the 17th of this month at 3 o'clock Central Time. They're going to be detailing Sunken, which is their new stronghold. So if you have been an Anthem player, maybe you took a break from it to play Division, or maybe you're still playing Anthem and looking for some more information, this is something you might want to tune into.
Yeah, in fact, they're supposedly going to detail some of the updates as well, right? It's not just the Stronghold, but some of the updates to the game, which everyone's really anxious to hear about. So that'll be next week, or this week if you're listening to this, and we'll see. Hopefully they have some good information for us. I did also see a report out that some of the developers at BioWare have said that there's been some high-level meetings with the whole group, from the executives on down, on how they're going to, try to change some of the culture there. I guess, obviously, fire was ignited after Jason Schreier's article and some of the exposure there, so there seems to be some positivity. Obviously, as we said before, who knows what's going to come of this, if anything, in reality, but we'll see. As I know Dan and I have talked about extensively, we really want Anthem to be good and to have a lot more content than it does, so I'll be tuning into this, and I hope they have something meaningful.
Yeah, I'm the same, Ains. I want something that I can kind of sink my teeth into. One Stronghold's probably not going to do it. Even the ability, I think it's out now, where you can go back and replay the missions at a legendary difficulty. I just, it's got to change up a little bit. So I hope for their sake that they do something, large in scope, and not come out and just say, here's a new Stronghold, and we give you some more skins, and hey, you can go, here's another difficulty level. That's, nobody wants that. I mean, maybe they do, but people want content, and they really need to deliver, and hopefully that article has really changed the tune there at BioWare.
Great. Yeah, so I mean, it's something to tune into. As you may or may not have noticed, BioWare has been kind of quiet as of late on stuff, so this is good to get some information from the dev team and more about Anthem. So tune into that one coming next week. So some good news there. Let's talk a little bit about Sea of Thieves. So Sea of Thieves, launched with kind of light on content. A lot of people had a good time, has a massive player base, and there's been a lot of stuff coming out for Sea of Thieves lately, and there's been a number of trailers that released this week. So if you looked at our site, we do detail all the stuff that is coming, including the announcement trailer for the anniversary update. So, Ains, if you can talk a little bit more in detail about this one. I know you stay tuned to the Sea of Thieves stuff, but we have Arena coming, we've got some narrative coming. There was a great trailer, or I should say a video that came from them as far as their year in review, but if you could share a little bit more details with us, that'd be great. Yeah,
so the major thing here is what they're calling Tall Tales, and that's going to be the first kind of narrative experience in Sea of Thieves. So it's got the first one's called Shores of Gold. It's going to consist of 9 quests and take anywhere from 10 to 20 hours to complete for you and your crew. But what's interesting here is that it's not just floating island, like everyone's already used to, right? There's going to be new puzzles, new areas, new islands, new enemies. It's actually a narrative-like campaign, and we're hearing good things. I've seen multiple sites now say, who have access to it and have played it, say references to Indiana Jones and to Goonies, which, I mean, as kids of the 80s, right, 2 of probably our favorite franchises or movies. So that sounds really cool, and that's kind of the biggest addition that's coming on April 30th with this anniversary update. But there's also the arena, so if you want to get in there with your friends and just jump on the ship and float in a tighter area and have ship battles, which are really fun. If you've never been involved in a ship battle in Sea of Thieves, it's hilarious. And we'll have you and your friends just running around screaming, trying to, get the cannonballs loaded and fix holes, and it's just a lot of fun. So that could be cool as well. And that, remember, part of this update is actually changing the physics of the ships too. So things like your mast can be blown off, and the holes will grow larger and larger over time, and things of that nature. Just going through my notes here, they're adding fishing, which is a huge request, believe it or not. Much of the community had been requested fishing, so now there's a whole nother trading company named the Hunter's Call, which you can level up and you can catch all sorts of different fish and turn those in for objectives and gold. There's new enemies, there's new chest type. Long story short, there's a huge update coming. So some of the kind of day-to-day things in Sea of Thieves I'm not too interested in, but I really am interested in this campaign, and I'd love to jump back in and check it out. So hopefully we can do that.
Yeah. Do they have? Is the campaign co-op?
Yeah, four player. Yep.
Yeah. So I missed that game. I actually really kind of miss it. It was because I played a lot by myself, and when we got together and had some of those ship battles, it was hilarious. It was
so much fun.
Yeah, I mean it didn't matter. It's one of those games where you play it and it's like, hey, you know what? If I get destroyed, so be it. Who cares? You'll be flying around on your ship. Another ship will come at you, start attacking you. Then the Megalodon shows up just to throw more crap into the mix. And it's so much. There's so much potential there, and I'm loving that there's going to be a story because that's what I wanted from the beginning. Honestly, even if it's just a small campaign, it'd be fun to do with some friends and jump on there. I knew bless you. So the new damage mechanics look kind of cool too. Being able to blow the mast down and knocking out.
And there's harpoons too. They added harpoons that you can shoot at other ships, and you could even shoot at the Megalodon, and it'll like pull your ship with it.
See, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, they need to get some. Yeah, I mean this might be what gets me back into Sea of Thieves for a while, just to try it out. So.
Yeah, and the fishing, not to keep going here, but the fishing actually looks really cool. I found some screenshots and some videos of people that have gone through it, and it's not just like you can fish and catch a fish, and cook it. There's like tons of different fish, and you can level up and unlock different cosmetics and other things. So, I mean, there's definitely a lot more here that's being added, so really cool to see.
Yep, and so if you didn't catch it at the beginning of the announcement, guys, that's April 30th at the end of the month, and one of the cool things about this game is this is all free content if you have the game already, and if you have it on Game Pass, it's even better because it's part of your subscription. So if there's one thing you can say about, State of Decay and Sea of Thieves and stuff like that, it's that they continue to bring content after the game releases instead of just abandoning the game. So always good news. We're excited about this one. We probably maybe we'll do a fun stream or something. It might be kind of fun to try out in this game.
Yeah, that would be fun. For sure. It's the nice thing about Sea of Thieves, as Dan mentioned, is it's just for fun, right? Like, it's not competitive. It's just, you just have a load of fun with your friends. And it's funny. We often, I think every time we played that, I just ended up laughing because the stuff's so ridiculous. So, it's good.
Yep. All right, so Ains alluded to this earlier. There is currently a Xbox, and actually Microsoft in general has what they call their spring sale every year. A lot of good stuff to go on here, so I wanted to highlight a few of these deals if you were in the market for getting a few deals for Microsoft products or services or whatever you're getting from them. But there's currently a $5 coupon going on for the custom controllers through their option there if you want to take advantage of that. There is, there's some console sales going on. If you play Apex Legends on Xbox, I believe there's a deal where you can get like 1,000 Apex coins for $1. Is that correct, if what I'm hearing, guys? Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. There's a lot of games that are on sale by a lot right now, and one of the biggest crazy deals that you can get right now is the Xbox Game Pass for $1 for 3 months. So that is not $1 per month, it's $1 for those 3 months. So 100 cents there. It seems like a no-brainer if you haven't done this one. It is a great deal. I mean, we have to get our friends on this one because a lot of people are like, man, there's not a game to play or there's nothing to play co-op. And a lot of the stuff you can play co-op here is
Sea of Thieves.
Nuts.
We just talked about
Thieves, man.
Yep.
And I did see also, if you're an existing subscriber like we are, you can get 3-month extension for half off too. So instead of whatever that is, $30, it's 15 for 3 more months. So if you haven't done that already, I'd jump on it.
Yep, seems like a great way to do it. And then there have been rumors of the Xbox Game Pass and Xbox Live bundle going on in the future, but none of that's confirmed yet. We don't know pricing or anything at all like that. So just keep that in mind when you're going to take a look at that. Anything else that you guys maybe are picking up during the spring sale? I know there's a lot of software on sale.
Yeah, I picked up 1 a.m. drunk last night. I picked up Witcher Tales Thronebreaker. It was not a drunken purchase. I just happened to be drunk at the time.
Gotta have that caveat in there.
I've been wanting to pick that one up for a while. Big Witcher fan. We've talked about that extensively, and so there's just so much to play. I've been waiting for it to go on sale, and it's on sale. So I think like $22 instead of 30. So grab that. I haven't started it yet, but will be soon.
Yeah, I think I picked up Ace Combat 7 or whatever the hell it is now, 6.
Nice.
7's the newest one, I think.
7. Yeah, it's
Yep.
like $35, I think. That's the only one I've gotten so far, but I own most of the ones that are on sale because, reasons, problems. So I might go in and see if there's any good indies that I missed, but other than that, I mean, it's great to have that kind of sale, man. It's huge. It's 500 plus titles. They said, gee, mini Christmas.
I literally went page by page last night because we hopped off a Division, and I was just sitting here and I was like, let me see what's on sale. And good Lord, it's like endless. There's so much on sale, so it's good to see. They should do. They've gotten better about that. I know a couple years ago, a lot of people were complaining that Microsoft didn't really do substantial sales or meaningful sales, for games, and they've gotten a lot better with that the past year or two.
Yeah, and I did double check that Apex Legends thing I mentioned. So you get 1 month of gold and 1,000 coins in Apex Legends for $1.
Can you do that existing subscribers too?
I'm not sure. Right now, it's on their site. It's only saying join Xbox Live Gold. I don't see why they wouldn't be giving you that though. But it seems like for $1 for Apex Legends, that's goes a long way when it comes to those Apex coins. So, and then also just Xbox Live in general, if you don't play Apex Legends, it's $1 for the whole month of Xbox Live Gold. So at minimum, you can check out the games with gold. You can check out the services they have if you just want to try it out. So pretty good deals there. I don't want to spend too much time on the sales, but check it out. Even if you don't have an Xbox or maybe you're thinking about it, just go to their site. You can kind of see everything that they have. If you buy a lot of digital stuff, check that stuff out there too.
Speaking of which, you said games with gold. It made me think of it. I saw a tweet from the Plants vs. Zombies development crew that since they went free on Xbox Live Gold this month, they've had over 3.5 million new players.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So we were talking about maybe jumping into that one night. That could be fun. A whole bunch of new people playing it.
Yeah, that game is a blast.
Yeah.
Absolute blast. Okay, moving on, and on the topic of sales, so Sekiro, which is a love and hate game for us here at Season Gaming, did sell 2 million units in 10 days. So as we were talking about it, there's a huge hype train for this latest game from Software. A lot of people have been looking for their next game, and we've been waiting for Sekiro for a while. I don't think I expected it to sell that much, even in the back of my mind, but wow, that's some crazy sales numbers for another From game that is not for everybody.
Yeah, so we're well, Dan, you actually held off for a change, didn't you? Good.
Yeah,
Smart move.
I knew better
Smart
on this
move.
one. Yeah.
So Bert and I bought it. I'm still playing it. I do like it. I don't want to make it sound like I don't. I do like it, but I have some complaints with it, and I don't think, as I've said before, it's as good as Souls 3 or Bloodborne. I just don't. That said, this is surprising to your point, because these games are notoriously difficult and not welcoming to a vast majority of people. And as we were talking about last night, a lot of people, even if they bought this game, they really haven't gone very far in it, or they got rid of it pretty quickly. So it's going to be really interesting to see if this continues. My bet would be that these sales would trail off now, that you've kind of got the initial hype and buy, and now it's really going to die out.
So what do you guys think
Dan,
that means for just like From games down the road with all the controversy of the easy mode and stuff like that? It doesn't seem like it's really going to affect the sales all that much. Maybe.
So
What do you think?
Here's the crazy thing, Dan. I mean, I honestly think the next game that's coming from is Bloodborne 2. And Bloodborne has a massive following, if not more than Dark Souls, at least somewhere near it. And I personally love Bloodborne, and I'm not a fan of a lot of the other ones, so I will be picking it up. One thing that I will say about Sekiro that I think helped the hype is a lot of people were saying this game is not only more accessible but easier than other From games. So I think a lot of people that were like, hey, this might be the game for me that I can play from Sekiro, or from Software. And in reality, a lot of people are saying Sekiro may be one of the harder games from, and it's not necessarily more accessible. There's just different things you can do in the menu that you couldn't do in past From Software games, and you also have the thing where you can come back from death one time, I guess resurrect. I'm not going to butcher the phrasing in the game, but a lot of that stuff is a lot of crap and a lot of nonsense. So I don't know. I think the press did help a lot in advertising for this game.
Well, and we've talked about it before, right? There is that core group of people, and it's a pretty big group, that still love the challenge and love these games. So the game is not for everyone. We've talked about that, but I think they've built the reputation to where their games are going to sell a few million copies, even if it's a smaller percentage of the community, because that percentage of the community are hardcore people. They're the people that are going to be there on day one. There's already people doing challenge runs and speed runs and no-hit runs, and they just really get into that competitiveness of I'm the best at this hard game. And so, I think that's going to hold them up. And you're right. We're really hoping for a Bloodborne 2. I know I'm pretty sure they confirmed that they're working on a new front mission, which would be really interesting, and a completely different game, obviously, than the other games From's famous for. But what I think is interesting here is, with the success of this and From having the reputation they have now, do they use that and the resources to make other games and to experiment a little more? Or do they just continue making games in this vein? Because we already came up with this moniker of Soulsborne games because you had to add Bloodborne to the Souls games, right? Because they play very similarly. Whereas Sekiro it has a lot of the same dynamics. So what are we calling it now? Soulsborne-ero? Like my point.
Wow.
My point being
I hope
that.
not. God.
Yeah, but my point is that one of the things that I think they get a pass on, and this is going to be in my review, is that a lot of these mechanics are shared across their games, and I don't know if that's a good thing. It lacks creativity, in my opinion, in the sense that, this is this equivalent, and this is this equivalent, and this is this equivalent. Oh, okay, I've played this game. And I don't know. I don't know how a development company makes a series of games that are supposedly all different games but have the same mechanics in a number of ways. That's really odd to me, and I don't know if. I was trying to think the other day as we were talking about this, just the three of us. I can't think of another development company, I don't know if you guys can, that does the same thing. What other development company makes like 3 different series of games that all have similar mechanics?
Pokemon.
Oh, we don't need to talk about. We're talking about serious stuff here. Stop it.
No, I'm with you.
Pokemon is its own monster. But yeah, I don't know. It's weird to me. And the problem, as we talked about before, is that you can't have an honest conversation about this because the people who hate From games despise them, and the people who support them are like diehard fanatics who don't want to hear any negatives. And so it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I would say Ubisoft is pretty close because you can probably go through, even Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, and there's all these similar mechanics. The tower.
There are some shared things for sure. Yep.
Yeah. For those games maybe, but they're also way more accessible for everybody else. So
and they're also much larger in scope. Those are huge open world games. These are linear, or mostly linear. There's paths obviously, but. And they're not exact, right? Like they share mechanics on the engines in Ubisoft games, whereas this is like, your healing gourd heals you or your Estus flask heals you, and it does the exact same thing.
Right.
Yep.
So I don't know.
You can definitely go light a campfire or a lantern or something, and that's your save point.
Lantern, idle. It's an idle in Sekiro. Same thing. You rest, the enemies repeat. You die, you lose your stuff. It's just. I don't know. I think it's a much longer conversation than we can have here, but I think it's a good conversation, one that needs to be had. It's just maybe it's something we put as a separate topic sometime to talk about. Because I hate the conversation on social media around these games because I like the games, I play the games, but I'm not a fanboy of the games, and so I sit in the middle of the idiots on both sides, and it's frustrating.
Yep. So another thing that I think contributes to this great sales number is that it's also cross-platform this time. If you remember the original Souls games, some of them started out on PlayStation only. Bloodborne is only available on PlayStation. So with this being cross-platform and other places as well, you can definitely see the sales numbers being good here. One of the things that I found funny, and this is not specific to the sales numbers, well, I guess it kind of is that GameStop's only giving $15 for this game right now. And it's probably because the number of people that were like, F this, I'm taking this game back to GameStop for a trade. And they probably have been flooded with games trade-ins for Sekiro. So I know when I was there, they had 6 copies for Xbox and 7 for PlayStation. So
yeah, it's crazy. It came out less than 3 weeks ago. And it's $15.
Yeah.
The only one last point, real quick, is that I've seen some people say if they are making Bloodborne 2, given these sales, as you just said, with being cross-platform, will we see Bloodborne 2 on all platforms? The answer is no, because Sony actually owns the Bloodborne IP. It is not a From Software IP. So just a reminder on that one.
Yep. So we'll see how that goes. Great numbers from them. I think they're kind of gonna maybe fall off in sales as far as the I guess the rush and the hype going on with people having to go get this game. So we'll see though. You can never tell with these games, and it's a great game for what it is. But great sales numbers. Did want to briefly talk about Hitman 2. So I think, Dan, out of all three of us, you have actually played Hitman 2, did enjoy it, and you actually did a review for it as well. So they did kind of share their roadmap for 2019. So if you do follow them at all, they had it on their site. They have shared, I'm just going to go off this, and I am showing the screenshot right now if you're watching video-wise, but we have the roadmap for spring, summer, and fall, and then they break down the actual details based on the version of the game you bought too. So there was the vanilla copy, as we usually call it. There was the gold edition and the silver edition, and based on what you have purchased, is it included in what you have or is it not? So they have new sniper maps, new locations. They have different modes and missions inside of those things in particular. And then there's themes that you can use for this game as well. So as we remember Hitman 1, there was tons of content that came out for it even after the game released way down the road. And it looks like we have a ton of content for the rest of 2019 as well.
I love the game, man. The new sniper maps, I played a little bit of that. Most of my stuff was just playing through the single player stuff. But I do jump on every once in a while, play the contracts that come out. Those are always kind of fun. Some new locations are, really welcome because going back and doing these contracts, it's basically the same levels. There's just some new person there. But the game is still solid. It's a lot of fun to play. I've always loved Hitman, and I've always loved the series. I have to actually check out all the stuff that's going to be coming to it. I did buy the most expensive edition, so hopefully I'll get some of that stuff for free. But we'll see. Probably not. I'll probably have to buy it and then, buy it again because, it's just... I'm just tired of buying games, damn it. But I can't stop.
If only you had control over that.
Yeah, self-control. I can be doing
I don't
worse,
have much to add here. I know it's a cool game. I watch you guys play it. I haven't played it, but I think it's really well done. So hope it's good.
Yeah, very highly supported from the dev team. So I have not played 2. I've played the heck out of 1, and I really enjoyed it. So I'll probably come back to it. So.
Well, and the big rumor is that IO Interactive, makers of this, is one of the companies that Microsoft's going to announce. They announced they bought at E3.
Yep. And by the way, if you only have the vanilla copy, the expansion pass to get all this stuff for the rest of the year is $40. So it is a bit pricey, but there's tons of content, and if you enjoy the game, it might be worth it for you. At the same time, I want to wait for this game to go on sale somewhere, or maybe it's in a bargain bin somewhere down the line. There were some pretty good sales for it when it launched. Okay, as far as news go, the last piece of news is Octopath Traveler, which was a lot of people's one of their favorite RPGs for the Nintendo Switch, is no longer a Nintendo Switch exclusive. It is coming to PC on June 7th. If you're one of the people that is wondering if this is coming to the Epic Store, it is not. It is coming to Steam and the Square Enix Store. So depending on where you buy your games, or if it even matters to you because you're playing on the same box anyways, that's where it's coming, June 7th once again. Fantastic. We have... In our news, we have one big rumor this week, and it is a rumor because it has not been officially confirmed by Guerrilla Games, but one of the voice actors from Horizon Zero Dawn's DLC in the first game did mention that Horizon Zero Dawn is in the works with kind of a I don't know, accidental quote or whatever the case is, but they did mention, just wait until you see the sequel, you're gonna die. I know some secrets, you're gonna die. So this pretty much is an assumed comment that, Horizon Zero Dawn is in the works. We haven't heard anything, like I said, from Guerrilla Games, but I'm super excited about this. I think we all knew it was coming. I'm just guessing it's probably going to be a next-gen title, not something this generation.
Yeah,
probably.
On day one, I mean, yeah,
for
Horizon
sure.
Zero Dawn is one of my favorite new IPs. I was actually thinking the other day, what are the best new IPs of this generation? Another separate topic we can have, but I think Horizon Zero Dawn will be up there. And yeah, I mean, God, think about how amazing that game looked and played on a Pro and 4K already. Can you imagine Horizon Zero Dawn 2 on a PS5? Man, little eggplanty over here.
No kidding. So like, are you literally gonna die? Is that like a spoiler for the game? Like, oh, let's wait till you see the sequel.
I think it's just her saying you're going to be super excited.
She was
probably.
talking to a fan. There was a fan that was talking to her. And she was. It's not Horizon Zero Dawn's not being made by From Software. We're good.
This is true. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. More robot dinosaurs, more awesome gameplay, more awesome mechanics. Hopefully, fill in some of the gaps and finish some of the big questions from the end of the last game. So, bring it on! Bring it on!
And more RPG elements.
Yep.
Yeah, more RPG elements. If you haven't played the DLC, by the way, Frozen Wilds is fantastic. I do recommend it. It's like dirt cheap. I think you can get the full game and the full complete edition for under $10, brand new from wherever you buy your game. So check it out if you haven't played it yet. Okay, that's it for our news and rumors this week, guys. Thanks for listening to that part if that's what the stuff you tune in for. But let's talk about what we're currently playing. So, Dan, what are you playing? I'm assuming it's a lot of the same, maybe? Something
Yeah,
new?
pretty much. Division 2, MLB. I did throw on some Gang Beasts, which we absolutely need to play. I can't figure out what the hell I'm doing, but it's hilarious and super stupid. I've been incinerated I don't know how many times. Just have some random dudes come up, grab me, throw me in the fire. And I love it. I love every second of it. I still don't know what I'm doing though. And then also I picked up, I only played a little bit of this, but I played, it's called Reigns. It's the Game of Thrones edition of Reigns. So Reigns is basically, they described it as like a Tinder, but like a game. So you swipe left and you swipe right. It's this little mini RPG, and you take the, control of whatever that character is. So this is the Game of Thrones edition. You might be Jon Snow or Daenerys Targaryen, and you make decisions. It's like, okay, hey, we can go help these people, and it's just a really simple little stupid game. And I saw it and I was like, well, it's $3. I'm gonna pick it up. I mean, it's not gonna knock his socks off by any means, but it's kind of a cool little story-based something. I have no idea exactly what it is. It's something you find on your phone. But I bought it.
Is it a mobile game?
I think Reigns is. I'm not sure. Maybe Game of Thrones is too. I don't know.
Well, what'd you buy it on? Is what I'm asking.
I bought it on the Switch. But I'm
All
pretty sure it's on mobile too. But I don't know that for 100%. So,
Okay.
But it's really, yeah. It's like I said, it was $3. Just came out on the Switch, so I figured, well, Game of Thrones is coming up. I might as well jump into it. So
That's likely what they were hoping for.
Well, they got me. Good thing I had some Nintendo coins because it cost me $0. Boom. Thanks, Yoshi.
Yoshi.
Hey, how about yourself? What are you playing?
Mostly Sekiro this week because I'm trying to power through to do the review for. So I've put a lot of time into it this week. I'm probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 2/3, 3/4 of through the game now. Only a few major bosses left, and my opinion remains pretty much the same as it was last week. I've got a lot to say on this game, like we kind of alluded to above or previously. I mean, so I don't know. We'll talk more about that next week, maybe. And then Division 2, of course, just continuing to power up and run through stuff there. And then picked up Thronebreaker, like I said, which I'm anxious to play. So I haven't started it because I just picked it up last night, but really looking forward to continuing that. It's got really good reviews and supposedly an amazing story in the Witcher universe, which I love. As soon as I heard the theme music, it drew me right back in because that soundtrack for Witcher 3 is incredible. So excited about that one.
Nice. I'm playing just completely different things than you guys. So I was in a Telltale cleanup for games, and I went back and played the Michonne Walking Dead Telltale game, which is only 3 episodes, so it's not very long, and that was on Game Pass. So I played that, actually enjoyed it quite a bit. If you haven't played that one or were interested in it and have Game Pass, I would definitely suggest it. With that being said, I've actually purchased the Walking Dead Telltale New Frontier game, which I guess you'd consider Season 3 of Clementine's story, and I was playing that, and then this announcement came out for Game Pass, and it's going to be, downloadable for that. So I'm on episode 3 on that one. It's a great story. I'm enjoying it so far, even though she's not the main character. It does include her, and it's a lot of fun. Playing a little bit more Gran Turismo Sport. Just been in a racing mood lately and really enjoy that game from a racing perspective, so that's been a lot of fun. And then still working on Persona 5, so all over the place these days. But that's it for what we're playing. Looks like we're all playing tons of stuff, and that's pretty great from our channel that we can focus on multiple things. So, all right, so that turns it over to Ains for Name That Game. Hopefully we can guess this one. A few stumps have happened recently. We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, you guys will get this one, I think anyway. And so some of these questions may be a little out there, but we'll see. So let's get started. Who's guessing first?
First,
Dan, why don't you go?
You going first,
Okay.
damn it. God damn it.
All right,
go.
I'm always first. I always lose. I always say Sonic, and I always fucking lose.
All right.
Sonic Pinball.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad
my
game.
new
Not
one.
a bad game. All right. This one. Question 1. This was released, I'm not going too old on you, released in 2009 for the Xbox 360, PS3, and PC.
That's it? That's all we get, huh?
That's all you get, man. 10 questions. Relax. That's just the first one.
2009, PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. 2009.
And it's not Stunt Race FX. For God's sakes.
Damn, it's a classic game. I don't know. Let's go with Call of Duty.
Yep, good choice. That was mine. Damn it.
All right. No, it's not Call of Duty.
Okay, it's not fucking Call of Duty. So, fuck if I know. 2009. Jeez,
And remember,
that wasn't even that long
remember
ago,
that
man.
call.
That's only 10
Remember
years
that
ago.
Call of Duty. Remember that Call of Duty would be a series, not a game.
So it's just
Oh,
a
no,
game.
I didn't really have an answer.
Well, see, that narrows it down to nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Is it for what was that? It was Xbox 360. This is crazy. Battlefield.
It's the first question. Just throw a guess
Bad
out there.
Company. I know. That's why I'm saying. Why am I thinking about this so hard? When did Bad Company come out?
I don't know.
That sounds good. Well, I tried.
Bad Company? No, it is not. That's kind of funny you say that though, of all things, because I actually considered Bad Company 2 for this, but it's not.
One of my
All right,
favorite
question
games.
2. There are 4 total games in this series.
And I'm assuming the 2009 game you're talking about is the first one, or you just
Or
it's
is he
one of the 4?
telling us?
You can assume whatever you like, sir.
That's bullshit.
It's your guess, anyways, Dan.
Grand Theft Auto
No.
6.
There's like 15 of
I
those.
know. There's like 30 fucking Grand Theft Auto games.
There's 4 games in the series. Grand Theft Auto 6.
I'm just throwing it out there. Did one come out? I'm just hoping I get a year right.
Okay, so there's 4 of them. The game came out in 2009. It's available cross-platform.
Oh no, that was later.
2009 cross-platform.
You said
Dead Space 2.
is it
No,
Dead Space 4?
But
Shit.
No, there's no 4. I don't know. There's only 3 core Dead Space games. I don't know.
There's 3 core, and then there's a Wii game. Yeah.
Oh, we don't talk about that one. Dead Space 2 is amazing, by the way. All right. There were many high-profile voice actors used for the characters, including Tim Curry, Mark Rolston, Tim Russ, Kate Mulgrew, and more.
I don't know any of those people.
You don't know Tim Curry?
Oh, I know Kate Mulgrew. She was on DS9, right? or something.
You know, we almost got through an episode without kicking you off, Dan, but now you just said you don't know who Tim Curry is.
I know who Tim Curry is. He's the guy from fucking and fucking...
You just said I don't know who any of those people are, and then said you know two of them. You're killing me.
I know two of them. What are the two in the middle? What's their names? Is it my turn?
Mark Rolston and Tim Russ.
I don't know those two.
Okay. Anyway, what do you got?
I don't know. It's not my turn.
Oh, is it my turn again?
Yep.
Tim Curry in video games. I don't remember that. Batman Arkham City.
Nice choice.
Well, I need to play that game though. Here's where I get kicked off the episode.
Okay, you're about to get kicked. The kick is happening.
I have it installed. Dan?
I'm thinking. Give me just...
You know what's running through Dan's head right now is, did Tim Curry voice Sonic at any point?
That's what I was thinking. Dragon Age. That's like a...
So that's a series. Again.
Yeah, I don't care. You said there's 3 games.
No, I said there's 4 in the series, but when you guess, you have to pick a specific game.
I said Dragon Age. The fucking Origins. I mean, that's the one I was going with.
Well,
that is the game.
One, right?
No shit. I'm not even shitting you. That's the game.
Well, I didn't even know Tim Curry. Who the hell did he voice? I played that game fucking 10 times.
You got it on the third question with a random guess. That is the game.
Who did Tim Curry voice in that game?
You guys have gone silent. I think you're in like disbelief. I'm not joking with you. That's the game.
I can't even believe I fucking got it.
But Dragon Age Origins wasn't the first game.
Yes, it was.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's the game in the series, but it's the first game in that
Awakening.
series. Yeah.
That's the expansion.
It was Dragon Age 2, then Dragon Age Inquisition, and there was a mobile Dragon Age game too.
Mobile?
So the
what
next
are we doing here?
Well, we're going mobile. We're using Wii games.
It's part of the series.
That's the reason I didn't get it.
That must be it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Player has the ability to control several different characters and ability to create their own character from different classes and races. Development began in 2002 for PC, but it was later decided a console port was needed, and that was done by Edge of Reality. And then we got easier at the end. The country set in Ferelden in the land of Thetis. Game gives the player freedom to make choices that impact the game, but does not have a good or bad rating. And finally, if you weren't getting it at the end, it's the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights. But Dan, with your random guess on the third question, you got it.
Thanks. Who did Tim Curry voice? This is what is bothering me because I don't remember him voicing somebody.
I just have my notes. I don't have the actual research. It's on Wikipedia. You can click on it.
I almost went with Mass Effect, but I figured I think that came out later though.
Mass Effect came out in 2007.
It came out before
Dragon Age came. Yeah, it came out before Dragon Age. Dragon Age was 2009, like I said. Yep.
God damn it!
Wow.
Life is completely screwed up.
Now I was curious when I found this that they started development in 2002, which was crazy. They actually did like pre-development for 3 years before they actually started coding the game, and then it was going to release in 2008 just for PC. But they decided it should be on console too, and they had to redo the UI, and they got Edge of Reality to do help with the port. So that's why it didn't come out till 2009.
Nice. Well, good guess, Dan.
Yeah, that's crazy. I when you said it, that's why I had to say you have to pick a game because we talked about that before. You can't just say a series. And if you said a different Dragon Age, you would have got it wrong. But you called it.
I mean, that was.
Nice
it had to be it. Tim Curry.
Look it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
We'll find it.
All
right, guys. Well, that is gonna wrap up Name That Game. Good guess, Dan. Ains, you got to keep track of the score on that one. That's not the record. I think the record's the second one.
Yes.
Second question.
Who I've done twice. Thank you very much.
Moving on. Anything you guys want to mention on the closing for this one? A lot of stuff to cover. A lot of stuff coming.
Yeah, so we start a new series for Backseat Gaming. We're doing Little Nightmares this time. Bert, damn Bert, yes. Bert's playing it. I have finished the game. Dan's played a little bit, but we're going to do the whole game this time. So we've done previous series where we only do chunks of games. We're actually going to play through all of Little Nightmares. So episode 1 is up. It's a fantastic game if you've never checked it out, especially if you like titles like Limbo and Inside, because it plays very similar to those. So episode 1 is up on our channel for that. I also did a really quick, just 2-minute video while playing Sekiro of a fantastic place in the mid-game, I'd say, a little past mid-game, where you can farm skill points and items and sen or gold very, very quickly. So if you're looking for a place to do that in mid-game to help you get some of those skills to help with the later bosses like the ape and the owl, go ahead and check that out. Like I said, it's only 2 minutes. It's one of the fastest ways to level up I've seen. So
Cool. Well, really informative there, guys. Dan, anything you got coming down the pipe?
Gosh, I hope so, but I don't know yet, so. Arl Howe. That's who he played. Arl Howe. Thank you. All right. We're good. I mean, all right, well, we couldn't have ended the episode without figuring out who the hell it was. I mean, So, Dragon Age fans, Arl Howe.
And BioWare, if you're listening, I know you are. Casey, hear me. Do not screw up Dragon Age 4. We will be mad. Okay? Get it right,
Yes.
please.
Yep, please.
Not off to a good start from what we're hearing,
No.
but we'll see how that releases. So,
You don't-
okay, and that does wrap us up for this week, guys. Thanks for listening. If you're just listening on podcast, if you're watching on YouTube, hopefully you got something out of this as well. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't on any front that you're listening or watching, and make sure to catch us next week. Thanks for listening.